Right then, third stream, Dyson Sphere Program. I played this all weekend. I'll show you the map actually. Oh, no, this is right. So I'll show you the map actually. This is my testing map, and I've done all sorts. I've been to another planet. Oh, there we go. Let's get into the plane. So I've been. Is it that one? Yeah, I've been over there. Not sure if I show it from this perspective. No, it doesn't look like it will. But there's titanium on this planet, and when you get up to the third of the science packs, you need titanium, and there is very little on my home planet. In fact, there's none. You can get it from some rocks. Yeah, I've been making all sorts of. I've learned so much, so much. But we will go back to our map that we're playing on the stream. One of the big things I learned in the stream last time, I was trying to do this, and making a mess, and basically. What we will get in here eventually, when we get the tech done, is splitters, and they're really good splitters. In fact, they're actually basically designed to do this. You need a bit more room than this, so this setup won't work. But this whole thing I'm doing here, where you bring the line in and you split off, they're basically designed to do that. And there's like several configurations where you can do it on a ground level. They're all four-way splitters. There's some inline ones where you can effectively do line balancing, and then this, as in a line coming along, along the ground, and then you output over the top of your lines. That's one of the configurations of the splitters. So my sort of idea here, my concept, is basically correct, but we haven't got the technology to do it yet. And one of the things I think I've come round to as how to play the game, in a sense, is that everything in this menu, well, no, that's not quite right. So most of the items in this menu are probably best off hand manufactured. Certainly, I mean, there's all sorts in the game. This game gets epic, but basically, you have to go to other planets. Which I was kind of, I'm not saying that like there's some revelation that. Nobody was expecting. You have to go to other planets, and you eventually have to move stuff between planets, and you do get the text for that. But as part of that, I realised eventually you get a tech that allows you to use the same drones, the same idea, using drones to move material en masse rather than along belts. On the planet. So I think the intention, it may not be the intention, but a way I think I should be playing it when I'm eventually sort of familiar with the game, is not to really make these until you get that technology, because then what you can do basically is you have all of this going on, to make these components, and then you basically handcraft what you need here until the point where you can just set up some manufactories with drones coming in sorry, I just need to turn my mic down, turn my volume down. Yes, some technologies coming in that basically allow you to move material over to factories where you can make this stuff. Not necessarily about. The other thing, there have been several patches. There's now a glowy spot. The mech glows at night, which is hugely helpful. It still gets properly dark. I mean, one of the things I'm just rattling on here. I should actually just be playing the game. But you see how this is north, effectively, north-south, right? And the planet we're on is pretty much along the plane of is it the ecliptic? So basically the plane of our solar system. I'm too zoomed in. So where's that? Oh, I keep getting the wrong button there. So the plane of the planets, yeah, as you can see, some go above and below the plane, that plane, and we are orbiting a gas giant, and this, I think this must be, because this is exactly the same setup as my test planet, basically, where you're orbiting a gas giant. Now, we don't for some reason get eclipses, and I'm not quite sure why that doesn't happen. But yeah, basically, you see how the planets, as it happens, ours is is vertical. Yeah, so there's no real north-south polar effect. So basically, like on the planet Earth, the reason you get seasons is that the pole, the north and south pole, is misaligned to that plane. So during the summer, it's effectively the northern hemisphere comes into the sun, and the southern hemisphere is permanently dark. I'm sure you're familiar with that, that effect. And my planet on my test map is like that. So one of my north and south poles have periods of the year where there's no sun, and I mean, I think that's an amazing level of detail that they've gone to. And my titanium planet is even more extreme. Basically, there's large periods of the year where there's no sun at the two poles. It's like an ice planet, and I'm sure that one, wherever it is, off in the solar system, that will be an ice planet too, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The blues and stuff they've used it's really pretty. I mean, it's barren. It's just a big block of ice with titanium and silicon blocks of these, basically. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, enough prattling on. I can't remember where the heck we are. I don't think I'd actually restarted. I can get rid of all of these as well. I've been reading through these. We didn't actually. I haven't rebuilt our science, have I? It was literally just making stuff. And yeah, what I think, how I would want to play the game essentially is, as I say, do things like this where all of our bits and pieces are together, and that I can just grab the materials, and then when you eventually get the so on planet logistics system, you can then put your manufacturing facilities, say here where there's no resources or anything, you put them there and have everything flown over materials wise, and then you get nice simple sweet short logistics centres here, rather than having to do gigantic belt spaghetti all over the shop. Okay, so where did I actually get to? What have I got in my inventory? I say we hadn't put the science labs down. I'm pretty sure that over here, what I was trying to do, you end up being able to fly, and it makes going around the planet so much easier. You can obviously speed up your mech. We've already done that once. But yeah, you can go around the planet basically. So what I was doing here was I was building the basic components, and I think this is fair enough. I think this isn't a bad. Oops, wrong key. I think this isn't a bad approach to having some of the very basic materials and things being made. Probably, I'd say fluid tanks is probably not actually necessary. But yeah, so things like assemblers, these ones here, and the other power ones you get, are probably the things to build, because you do need them kind of in bulk. But the other part, these bits and all the other things you get, initially are probably best to build as components. It's also a little, I don't know that it's unbalanced, but things like engines, or electric motors as they are, sorry, and these things here, you don't need them like when you get them. When you need them is much later in the tech tree, where suddenly you'll get these techs that you need loads, or like for example our next level of belts will basically require these motors. It's not the motors themselves, it's like an extra component, but they need loads of the motors, and at the moment we don't need them for anything basically, but that tech will come quite quite a way down the line. Anyway, stop talking, Mark, and get on with building some stuff. So, why don't we grab some basic materials? What I will actually do, I'll put down a storage facility and dump in. What are you waiting for? Dump in these, which I don't really need at the moment. Now, have I got? I don't know if I have or not. So yes. Oh, the other thing, the whole thing of building along these latitude and longitude lines, that it makes it so much easier. You know, this bus should be going along these, and as we're getting more north, it actually makes things quite difficult. So we should really have, you know, be building along that line, I think, and you know, building our stuff over there. But anyway, right. So what we need to do, I think, is build these power components, which take iron ore. Those are just made from them, so I won't bother making them, but I will make those. So they need iron ore, iron plates and magnets. That's iron plates, magnets, and gear wheels, or cogs, or whatever it calls them. So I need which ones? So it's those three, isn't it? One of those, and one of those. Okay, so. And that one. And that one. Okay, so. Actually, I'd probably better. What I'll probably do, I think, actually, is just take them round. So rather than continue this, you know, up and down-y across thing, I'll literally just take these around a corner. Should I put them next to them? Yeah, might as well. Because what I might do is kind of refactor the base to sort of account for them, you know, account for my learnings, and probably do that off stream maybe. So we want some manufacturers, because this is one of the other interesting, because you're on a planetary scale, the different distance between things and the way they align changes. So as you add things in, you know, these inserters, you know, it becomes more difficult, or you have to do the alignments differently, if you see what I mean. So if we make these, and we make, oh, did I only needed two, didn't I? Yeah, so I don't need that one at all. And then we put storage facility there, and there, and then pop them in there, and them in there. So limit that to, say, I don't know, a couple of stacks there. Why are you not doing anything? Because you've not got. Oh, there it comes. Don't know why that took a while. Must have taken them a little moment to go and put the thing on. So it's a bit slow with the iron plate. Do we have upgraded inserters? No, we don't. Yeah, so the iron plate's a bit slow to come. How are we doing with power? Yeah, so we got the headroom. So I'll just take a few of these. I'll take a bunch of them. So I say, what I can do, I can just hand manufacture some of them, because they use those, plus, you know, those things, basically. So if if we grab more of them. More of them. What are we missing, if anything? Oops, wrong button. So mining machines, as I say, I will handcraft when I need them. In fact, let's do a bit of stack up some handcrafting. Water pumps. There's a very good example of what I was saying about not needing them until much later. It gives you these water pumps very early, and I was like, what do we need water pumps for? Is that just some misnaming where actually they are, you know, pumps for oil or something like that? No, it is a water pump, but you need them way down the line. They're used in several chemical processes, and when you do need them, you suddenly need loads of them, and it's like, it's almost silly in a sense. So let's build some more labs. And what else? Make sure we got a nice couple of stacks of... Oh, I've got loads of belts on me. Don't really need that many. Inserters, or whatever it calls them. And assemblers. So we don't really need tanks. But, and there again, you don't need tanks until much later. Okay, let's get some basics. Some stone, some glass. Anything else that's useful here? Not really. But we can get some copper. I could put that copper in my smelters, couldn't I? You have quite a long reach as well. Why did that not go down? Huh. That confused me, that. Let's get a stack of... I'm going to sort these. And we want some of them. We could do it... Like, and there's another one. I was like, what do you need them for? It's only the magnets. But suddenly they become... The thing I was saying about the motors, suddenly they become hugely... that basically them plus extra magnets is what you use for the sort of upgraded motor thing. Can I put them away though? Where am I making them? Okay, so I can stick them in there. Oops. Sort that. What else? Iron plate. So them. Gear wheels. Okay, so we got that copper ore. I could feed it in, I guess, because we've got loads of storage things. Is that's going to be too close, isn't it? Try. Yeah, too close. On the other side, maybe? Oh, that's too close again. Yeah. Put that there. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put the copper in there. And it's not going to need power. Okay. Boop. And then what else? I could try and get rid of those magnets in a similar way. So this is what I was just talking about with the sometimes you're too close and sometimes you're far away, and it's kind of a reflection of the curvature and the weird. Although these are squares, they're obviously not squares because it's it's a globe, and the number that it puts in is what causes this discontinuity, and it's literally just a reflection of it being a sphere. So get you to put them in there, if you will. Okay, so if we make a few more of these as well, we've got them. Okay, so I think we're ready. Unless there's anything else I want to make. No, I don't think so. Didn't we have a load of... Oh, there's the cubes over there. Okay. Am I making them, or did I just chuck them in there? No, I just chucked them in, didn't I? Okay. So. Research. What do they need? They need D and D. So we do need to do some sort of splittery, improvised splittery thing here. What we can do... Or should I... What do these actually need? They're iron and copper, aren't they? And then... circuits are just iron and copper as well. So is there somewhere on the planet I can go that has... let's show our resources... that has iron and copper relatively close together, and we can establish a new manufactory. There we go, that's not bad. It's a little bit far away there. Anywhere nice and close? Not really. So we want to head up north, basically. Might take us a little while to get there. Got loads of stuff with us. I say once you get the ability to fly. Excuse me, I'm gasping for a drink. Once you get the ability to fly, it's much quicker. So where are we going? It was over this way, wasn't it, somewhere? Is it that one over there? No. Oh, it's quite a long way, and it's quite... I'm not keen on that, actually, thinking about it. Because it's quite close to the pole. So it won't be a good place to build. What? How much is there? 30. Because we've got oil here as well, which from memory we need for our next science level. How about we build here? Because we've got the power nearby already, power access. And I just belt over some of that iron ore. Yeah, okay. So, where do we actually want to build? Is that our good Contour line? Yeah, so we want ideally to build with our lines going this way. So if we put our labs over this way. Do we already have? Yeah, so yeah, one of the other things I discovered that this may be a very much early, it may be possible from the beginning, but I was like, don't seem to be able to do science other than, do it myself, and that didn't make any sense to me. And what it is, you can set these matrix labs to either produce the materials that you need for science, so the equivalent of beakers, or you can set them to do research. Yeah, and in which case you need to feed them beakers, and there are, what they matrices, and there's like, well, I'll show you. So there's like, if you get way down here, oh, wrong one. Well, there's that white one which doesn't seem to match, because there are 5 slots in that matrix. So I assume this is something to do with a very much later, you know, part of the that's like your signifies you've made the Dyson Sphere or something. But you see there's blue, red, yellow, purple and green. I'm just about to make yellow in my testing map. But yeah, so basically this lab, you can feed it in the material, or as I say, you can get it to actually produce the stuff. Yeah. So what we want is a stack of the labs here. One of the things I did want, I've still not quite worked out. Shall we add in a technology? That gets us the splitters, you see. So I should have done this one before I tore up what I was doing. So 18,000 hashes. This bit, I don't understand this. This data volume and equivalent to a lab 300 seconds. Well, I don't quite understand what it's saying for these. The green ones, you know, as it says there, take 3 seconds to make, but it's not fully clear to me how that works in terms of, you know, how many labs that properly fills and stuff like that. Yeah, so what I'm just going to do is just have a stack. We can only stack 3 at the moment, and then we'll have effectively a buffer. Do I want 2? No, let's just put 1. Effectively a buffer of feed in. Actually, I should move that one up, shouldn't I? I'm trying to be a good little boy and use the shortcuts more. So that would be feeding in there, you see. This will be feeding in here eventually, and this will be the blue, and this will that will be the red. So we therefore need to put. Oh, this is it's probably a terrible arrangement for doing it, but it'll serve our needs for the time being. The stacking is a little confusing, I would say, you know, sort of in my opinion, because it works more like a fluid, so that sometimes so for example, if I put 2 on here, you can actually take stuff out of the second top level, but anything you put in goes into the bottom level. So even if you put it into the top, it will fill up the bottom level first and then go into the top. So if you have, say, a feed in at the top and an output at the top, then the output will sit there doing nothing until this is full and it starts feeding this up. So the utility of that I am not entirely sure about, to be totally honest with you. You know, how useful that is, I'm not entirely sure. And we need to connect it up eventually. But what I need to do is feed this. Oh, wrong way. Feed this some circuits, and I've forgotten again. Well, I could put these cubes in, couldn't I? Where's our power? Power is over there. Why are you not connecting? Huh, that seems a lot shorter than on my other map. Maybe there's a tech to extend it, maybe? So. And if we turn that off, lack of matrix. Why do you have lack of matrix? No, there we go. You see, so here you go. So it's feeding them in, right? And they're building up because it's using them slower than it's feeding them in. Okay? And as it gets to a point where it's filled up, so it's got 10 in, then the excess go into the next one above. And again, this will slowly build up. So it's now 2. And it's... oh, no. No. What I might do then... no, now it's 3. You see what I mean? So it's slowly, slightly more than it can do. I might put a second one. Since we've got so many. Here we go. Research results. So we've got our fast splitters. Sorry, we've got our 4-way splitters. And we've got our fast inserters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to whack one of them on. Just to make sure we're not bottlenecking it from that point of view. Because we've got loads of them sat here, you know, doing nothing. So that's now... oh, I haven't selected the technology, have I? It won't research them until I do. So, that requires red anyway. Steel's another one. You don't need steel until way later in the game. But you can make it now, or learn it now. Smelting purification, we might do that, because that'll give us graphite, which is a much better fuel. Thermal power gives us that one. Plasma extract refining, so that lets us do oil. And this is the one, this is what I was saying, the magnetic level, that's the one that requires, you see it requires engines, motors, and an extra magnet. But it requires red technology. So, I think what we'll do... actually, is there an upgrade we can get at all? Yeah. We might get these. Mechanical frames. So I could do that and just hand make a bunch of them. How many can I make? I can make 130, so we'll just make them. Get that done. Because that speeds us up, doesn't it? Yeah. Inventory capacity is very useful. And there you see, that's steel. And I made this whole massive rig of steel. Massive setup of steel. And then it all just sat there for ages and ages and ages without me doing anything with it. That's really useful though. More inventory capacity. Can I hand make steel? Oh, I wouldn't be able to see until I've done the technology. That's more bots, that's useful, we can add that on. Energy circuit. We need the graphite. Oh, it makes them faster, that's useful as well. Oh yeah, flying. Yeah, brilliant. So I might as well do that as well. Have I put them in the right order? Well, that's... so really I want... no? I want the one that's material. There we go. Because I'll do them by hand. There's a few weird ones like that where you need materials to do them. So if we do the... oh no, I can't make graphite yet, can I? So if I do that one then, and no point doing that one. That one. Wasn't there flight as well? Oh, is drive engine flight? Mecha flight, yeah. What was the other one? So I could do the engine, but not that one. Okay, so mechanical frame. So I need 150 bits of coal. We can go and get those in a moment. You obtain faster movement speed. And then we want to look at what technology we want. So we know we're going to need steel and smelting. I would quite like to do that one first though. And that one. And then we'll do the steel. Can I add that? Yeah, it does have a limit. I think that is the limit actually. Right, pressing the wrong key. Right, so we want 150 bits of coal. Can I fly? Oh no, it's the speed I've done. I need the flight is next. Where? Guess we've got. Why not harvesting this? Yeah, there we go. So we can. And so that's what we need for the science. What am I doing? Oh, I've got no fuel. Okay. So I need fuel. And let's carry a couple of stacks with us. Yep, okay. Okay, so so the question really is how close to this do I want to build my actual manufacturers? I mean, because it's a bespoke thing that I'm building here, it kind of doesn't matter in the sense that yeah, so if I build so what would this look like? So if one of them's doing so the copper's here, isn't it? The copper's relatively close by, and it's the iron I'm going to need to bring from further away. So if we make, because one of them needs, oh, I've confused myself. So that requires circuits. What was the other thing? Oh, and then so if I make, so what we'll do, we'll plan to have double, or have the space for double production, but we won't actually have double the production. Mecha flight, hooray!
You have received the ability to fly. Double click the space key to lift off, and then use the arrow keys to control mecha movement. The moving speed will increase by 150% with more energy consumed under flight mode. Pressing the Alt key can return the mecha to the ground during the flight.
Oh, bottom. Got that wrong place. So, yeah. Basically, you double tap space, like a double jump, basically, to fly. And so we're going to make, which way around am I going to do again? I'm going to make circuits here. Construction zone, you now control more construction zones. Okay. And then we'll make magnets, wasn't it? There we go. Yeah. Is that cover enough? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, so basically I'm double tapping space and you fly, and then you hit the Alt key to drop down to ground. You can't land, you can't destroy any of your gear, so if I try and, you know, land on top of these, it won't let me. Yeah, it just sort of bounces on top. Similarly, you can't fly. If I try and drop down now, bounce off the water, and I go into that, you know, hovery mode rather than flight sort of thing. Yes, how do we get fuel? It's very energy intensive. You get there's upgrades that allow this to be, you know, this recovers much quicker and stuff like that. And of course, we're also supporting drones and stuff, which are sucking up a lot of our power. Right. Yes. So we are working under the assumption that potentially we might need more. We won't. So we need a bit of space here, space here, space here. So these need copper plates and iron, you know, whatever they are, magnets. These need copper plates and iron plates. We now have splitters. I'll make a bunch of splitters. Cool. And where was our... So we got copper vein there. So we might as well set up some copper production here. Let's put one there. And able to view reserve. And what have I got stuff in my inventory as well? Yes, so we need to put. We don't need to, but I want to put a second one on. In fact, might as well tap that vein out, really. Tap it all. Cool. And then we need our... So if I'm going to be smelting these, then it'd be nice to have them kind of in line. Just put that down temporarily. These, and then perhaps use a splitter to take it up the side there as well. Yeah, okay. So where's it going to be a good place to put this? If we're just making, we're just smelting it, aren't we? So, have I put that in exactly the wrong place? I think I put that in exactly the wrong place. Let's put it up there. So, let's try working in our 3s again. I found that if you do 3 and then put one of these lads in, then you're pretty much guaranteed for it to fit. And as I say, that seems to work irrespective of, oops, wrong way, of how far up and down, you know, the lat long you are, apart from when you get very, very close to the poles. But I'll probably put solar panels at the poles rather than try and build there. it gets a bit brain breaking. That increases the speed of our drones. It gets a bit oh, I put the wrong thing in. A bit brain breaking up at the poles. I've done it again. So, if we put, how many do we actually want? How many can we fit? So that's probably as far as we can go and be safe. So I'll pick them up. Do I really want 6? I don't think I do initially. Let's just put 3 in. So we want our copper come up there. This, oops, we want to smelt copper for us. Well, I say that, but don't I need... Let's just put 3 in for the time being. And I'll show you the splitters now. So if we split it, well, let's split it here somewhere. This will get a bit spaghetti, this area, but that's fine. So this is the splitter, and it has 3 configurations that you roll through with tab.
Splitter with 4 directions. It can split the passing cargo or balance the cargo on multiple conveyor belts. The splitting speed depends on the conveyor belt speed. Use the tab key to switch between different styles, and click it to set priorities and filters.
Yeah, so basically what he's just explained, basically. So you got this sort of 4-way one, and it's very clever in terms of what you put into it. So if you put this in, you know, if you build it in, then it will take that as an inline. But equally, you can build it out, and it will take it as an outline. So you could put in this, for example, in this one, say you had 3 pathetic streams coming in and 1 going out, or you could have 1 going in and 3 going out. It will also adapt to the speed of the belt. So if you put in, it will eventually get, you know, mega fast belts. If you put them in, then and out, it will, you know. So you put one of these top tier belts going in and bottom tier belts going out. You know, it will just cope with that. It's not like Factorio where you need the different splitter speeds to match the or well, you don't need them to match the belt, but you know, if you have a high speed belt with a low speed splitter, it won't, you know, it won't work properly. Well, it will. It depends what you're trying to do, but you know, you have the different splitter speeds. This copes automatically with the different splitter speeds. It also copes, you know, automatically with the different things. These are very useful for balancing. So if you have 2, like we've got the 2 iron plate lines coming in, you could have both of those going in and just 1 going out, and it would, you know, balance the lines, or 1 going out and, you know, or maybe 1 coming in from a different direction and 2 going out, nicely balanced. This is the one that we would be using on our bus approach. Research result, that gives us the crude oil now. Cool. Yeah, so this would be the one that we would be using on my concept of that main bus, where you come in, keep going, and then you have one. Getting it to attach can be a little finicky, and then it's going out and providing an offshoot to that main bus. But say I was doing it manually basically, which is why it was so painful. Okay, so what we want to do then is we want to come in here, go out here, and then out. Oops. No. There are some things, quality of life particularly, things that are missing in terms of belt. There's no way that I can tell that you can pick up from a belt. you have to basically dismantle the belt to pick it up. There are no pipes in the game. You use belts as pipes. So when we're dealing with fluids, we'll be putting them on belts, and you'll see blocks of the fluid moving along, basically. I never connected these up, did I? Oh, and there's the other thing I was complaining about is you can build foundations. You know that. Let me take that out. No, it will not. Yeah, that allow you to terraform the land, basically. Oh, it's not connected down the bottom, is it? I was wondering what it's a bit weird in terms of showing the power grids properly. So I think that's all connected now. Oh, and we've done steel as well. As you can see, you can go through the research really quickly. And so there's that thing, like I find with Factorio as well, where you can get a bit carried away in a sense. You are not powering what I want you to power. I also quite like to do this. I'm sure it's not really necessary, but I quite like to do this thing of sort of balancing or putting a bit of local wind power around my things. Another thing I was having trouble with, and I've no idea whether it was me being dumb, which is more than possible. It wasn't doing side loading at all. It didn't seem to be working at all. Now I say whether that was just me being dumb or what, I really don't know. But it now definitely works. You can now definitely side load onto belts. This is actually way too much production for the copper that we are using. Did I not hook these up? I didn't. No. Oh. And there's our other tech. So they're all hooked up. So what I need to do now, I need to bring iron ore down. Was it up here, the vein? Which is going to be easiest. That's probably going to be easiest, isn't it? So let's head over there. Okay. Oops. Pop 2 on for this one. Now, is that going to be a good way to break down? Good place. Now, probably better if we do it. Yeah, on the other side, I think. belts just float over the sea. You don't need to worry about foundations for them. They will just cope. And then we'll put, as I say, we'll put our little collection of sort of solar lads in. Not solar, wind lads in. Oh, I haven't got any left. Perfect. Although we've not got any power. But I could stand next to one of these, I think, couldn't I? It's a lot quicker to do that, you know, electro charging thing. So we need fuel our mech up again, I'm sure. Yeah, there we go. Let's just let it work on that. Where are you going? Oh, okay, filling that in. Okay. So we need both iron plate and we need the magnets before we can... is that right? Yeah. And the magnets are made directly from the iron plate. And we're feeding them down that line. And then their iron plate. The magnets are made directly from iron ore. So what we could do is bring this down here. Somewhere. Production, there we go. So we could have these lads here making... Oh no, they're smelted, aren't they? That's right. Actually, what we could do get rid of that, and then we have these being made here. And they're making magnets. How do I want to spaghetti that round? I mean, what we could do is have a splitter there. Oh, is that the right type of splitter? No. If we have a splitter there, and then do that out there. That, whoops, that along there, and then this will have to take up and down. Actually, let's just 2, 3, yeah, so that's fine. Oh, no. That's wrong, isn't it? Because it's not that I want to split, I want to have coming down. It's the processed iron plates. I'll probably end up recreating this. I mean, you can actually use the, because you can set priorities and stuff, you can sort of use them as, you know, to achieve that over-under trick, but it's just as complicated, if I'm frank. Right, so what I need to do here is put in our smelters. Let's just put them here as well. I want some more Tesla towers. Because this is the other thing, you see, because there's no logistics delivery to your mecha, the sort of point of, you know, building everything at a central base is a little redundant, because if you think about it, oh, I need to put the actual, if you think about it, oh, what? Yeah, so I'm going to have to build exactly what I just built. If you think about it, you know, you're going to be out building stuff, so you don't really need, you know, the things that have been built. I can do that more elegantly, can't I? At the base, well, that is to say you've got to go back to base to get them. Well, why not just build them where you are? There we go. Right, so we want iron ore going in there. So we want iron ore coming in there. And then we want iron plate there. Why are you not doing anything? So it needs them quicker than it's delivering them, so we might as well. Use these level 2s we got. Should we make some more? There you go, suddenly you start needing motors. But you don't really need... yeah. Don't really need a lot of them until you get the level 2 belts, really. And they're going in there. But we don't have a science selected, so it's not actually doing anything. What about these? How are you functioning? Do you need... So you are also slowed by the lack of rapidity. So we're nudging up against our power limits. So I should go and probably build a big old wind farm because we don't have solar. Oh, well, no, we have. Of course, we research thermal. Now, there was somewhere, wasn't there? I was just digging up coal. Because I can make graphite now, can't I? Is that all functional? Should I start a new... Let's see if we can't do an upgrade rather than necessarily a new research. Oops, come here. So they're reds, aren't they? So the inventory capacity. Can I hand make steel? I don't think I can I? No. That's a bit annoying. Energy circuit. I can hand make graphite though, can't I? And then these require reds. What about you? Oh, you're red as well. What about that one? Okay. So we could do that one if we built some steel production, and that is a very useful one to have. Technology-wise, do we want to actually do a research or sort of set up some production of the things we've just made? Oh, well, we could do that one. That wouldn't be any problem because it's just, you know, well, you need steel to make them, but, you know, it's sort of irrelevant. If you see what I mean. Solar collection, here we go, solar panels. Okay. Semiconductors, that gets us... There's another one that you don't use until much later, but it gives you quite early. The chemicals... That's our red things. Because well, you don't, because we've got the plasma extractor, but you do kind of need these because otherwise you end up... Because this thing here takes hydrogen, and you get hydrogen essentially but from fuel, from raw. So when you do the oil extractor, the oil comes out and you break that down into the sort of basically into like crude oil and hydrogen basically. So there you go, there's the process. Oh no, that's for plasma, but you break it down into the black crude oil, into the what does it call it? Raw oil or something, processed oil, something like that, and hydrogen. And so a bit like if you ever played Factorio and got stuck with refineries that are just pumping out material you don't know what to do with, you kind of need this in order to process them into things that you will eventually use, although again you don't really use sulfuric acid or plastic until quite late in the game, but it at least allows you to convert them into other things that you will use. So if I do that one, it'll give us a reason to go and do some oil as kind of our next big job. Should I do that or not? What have I said? That's an upgrade, isn't it? And that's environment. Let's just wait for that one to do, and go and go and sort of restock ourselves. Where was that coal that I was just sort of just digging the coal out, basically? No, can't remember. Oh, well. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So all I was doing here was digging coal out of the ground, basically. Some of which we need just to power us for the time being. Although we can stand there and help ourselves out. So if we come over here and make some graphite, where's the oil? Where are the oil veins? Is there any good sites for oil veins? So there's one there, one there. Ooh, all three. Ooh, yeah. Okay, that's. This is a good place to do our research, because we can take all of this oil and break it down into, you know, hydrogen, which we can use in the actual science, and also then sort of feed the rest of it off to make other stuff. Okay. Yeah, so if we go back to our main base over here, and oops, restock on everything. I could also just sort of get rid of them, couldn't I? Fill it up with one of these as well, again. Anything else? No, we're fine. Okay, so circuits. Let's get some of that. Some of them. And don't really need them. Have I got any of them? No, I haven't. And cogs. Okay. Glass we've still got. Stone. Stock up on that. Haven't got anything to... Oh, put that in there and then. Storages. Tanks I won't have used. Belts. 3 stacks of belts. Inserters. Them. Yeah, okay, so what we'll do, we'll find a place we can put some solar, not solar, some wind power down. Oh, look at all the oil there. If we put it... maybe over here. So we want to go back to that oil of iron ore and just sort of head up there. Okay. Oh, I was going to get some wood and do this manual research, wasn't I? So we want, was it 60 wood? And we've got the coal, we need the graphite, so I need to make graphite, which I can do by hand, I think. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we will plop in a bit of... oh, no, it was... yeah, okay. We'll plop in a bit of wind power around here. Sort of. Oops. Plop these in. That'll do. What's our... yeah, so we've got a bit of headroom there. Yeah, that's the mecha fuel power. So if we head over here, because we've got two patches right close together. Ooh, I appear to have found a little baguette. I'm picking these rocks up because they have sometimes randomly produce a bit of titanium. So we got 42 bits of titanium. Unless we already had that, did we? I can't remember. Right, so what we want to do... we might as well leave that there. I guess. But what we will need to do is actually let's make a few more of them. Oops. Try and get more of this mined. Oh, I can't put one there. You can go off grid like that. So yeah, let's just do them 3. And yeah, okay. I keep hitting the F key instead of the R key. That does, I think. Or do I want to just slip one in there? Said the bishop, actress to the bishop. Okay, so if we put our power stations in, or power generators, will they
Thermal
fit?
power station. Such power facilities need to consume chemical energy fuels. If you wanted to generate continuous and stable power, you need to ensure a sufficient fuel supply at all times.
So one would fit there, but not quite. I wonder if it's better to convert them to graphite first. So that's got 630 megajoules and requires 2 bits of coal. I guess you're having to run, because it's smelters, isn't it? Idle, what, 360 kilowatts. So if that's taking in, so it's costing you just 0.3 to convert. It's better to convert them to graphite, isn't it? Okay, let's do that then. So plus they don't fit there anyway, so what we could do instead, this is another sort of quality of life type thing. You can't like replace the belts, so I can't, you know, reverse the belts simply by overdoing them. Like, you got to pick them up and then put the reversed ones in. And also, if I do this across here, they're not connected. You know, it's not doing the side loading, and it can get that's how foundations. It can get quite finicky about connecting things up. Which is fine. Oh, it's not a problem. It's just, as I say, quality of life type stuff. So how about we have all of our coal lines. Where's north? North is that way, so we're better off working along the horizontal. And what we could probably do is something like have coal lines and... that's probably a bit too close, isn't it? Because it is smelters, isn't it? So if that's a smelter there, does that make graphite? So that makes graphite, okay. I'm going to need a load of smelters then, aren't I? Actually, it's 2 to 1, isn't it? So a graphite takes 2 seconds and requires 2 coal. So actually, oops. What I can do. So they need what? They need a coal line each to produce half of a thing. Okay, so got my maths a bit wrong there. I think that's right. So effectively got coal coming down these two, and then graphite coming out the other. But then I would need another line of coal there. To produce one of graphite from a second line of smelters there, which have coal coming up the back. Okay. So if this one and this one, oh no, this one, oh, research. Ah, right. So we've got the red research is now available for us to make. So this is going to be output, 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 output. Oh, why have I got a gap there? Bugger. In fact, let's leave a gap more deliberately. So if I put that there, does that cover everyone in that? Oops, that bit. I think it does, doesn't it? So it would need to be there. Okay, so I mean, this is massive. We don't need anywhere near this much at the moment anyway. But if I put in spacing again, so that works there, and then that wants to be there. So limit that to that. So those are our two graphite lines coming out. Okay. Okay. So we want coal coming in. What I'll probably do, because we don't have the fast things anyway, is kind of get rid of that. And then we'll have one coal line there. I only need two, don't I? No, I do need four. So we'll have actually let's do that. See, I could do a whole balancey thing there, but meh, whatever. And then these coals. In fact, actually, I could put down. Whoops. Oh no, I can't put it down, can I? Because it's. I need the thing, which I need the whatchamacallit. Yeah, I need the this, which I can't make. Oh, did I get one?
Foundation, a terrain leveling tool. Yet we cannot use it to change the planetary landforms at will. We can only level the surface to ground zero. If the foundation is used for high grounds, it will gain soil power. On the contrary, if it is used on the ocean or low-lying areas, it must consume soil power. When installing the foundation, either choose a kind of decoration or without decoration, even only surface leveling.
So what it's saying...
Insufficient required items. You can click the replicator button at the bottom right of the screen to open the panel and manually replicate these items.
What it's saying, basically, is that connected? No. What it's saying is that this stuff, right, you can only use it to flatten things off, basically. And generally speaking, it's going to be, increasing your land area, basically. Though as noted, you do need water for things, so you can't sort of flatten the entire planet. But this recipe, it's a bit weird, and I don't understand where it gets these soil piles from. It's something to do with when you put things down, if it's not flat, the bots are like leveling it out, and you get the soil. Where the hell this is, I don't know. It just sort of exists in some sort of, I don't know, pocket dimension or something. It's not there, if you see what I mean. So yeah, oh, that's annoying. That's because I put that down with the shift key. What was I saying? So yeah. So you can only lay this down if you've got soil available. So if you've got zero soil, you can't do any terraforming. But as I say, quite how you get the soil is a bit vague. And then all it was saying about the decoration is you have this version which shows a white foundation, and this which doesn't. Well, I say it doesn't when you look normally, but when you're laying it down, it shows you where you've put those tiles. But it's a bit sort of generous in the sense that if you put this down, if I put it down there, it would actually cover more than the 4 tiles, although it would still use the soil up. It's all a bit sort of vague. You know, it's obviously. I mean, you know, it's obviously clearly the program is doing something. You know, that the code is making some adjustment somewhere. You know, making some. You know, something happen. But what it's doing, I'm not fully sure. If I put that there for the moment, we need steel to make it. That's why I can't. So if you look in this, you know, we don't have any steel, and you can't hand make steel. You have to smelt it. So I can't fill that gap in. So if we bring this down here. Now I disconnected the power somewhere over here. In fact, I might, can I put one of these in? Yeah, let's do that. So is everything connected? Why are you not running? Oh, it's because the belt's not in. There we go. And they're stopped because they're stopped. Okay. Okay, so that's all of the stuff. Now, if I bring the actual graphene, what's a good gap to leave? Tell you what, if we bring the graphene over here. Maybe there. Will it fit my power plants? Pretty sure we can pass through 5. Let's have a look, see, shall we? Certainly with the Mark II sorters, I think we can. Let's try one of each. Some things let you do pass through, others don't. Let's try. Oh. Let's try that. Now it needs a bit of power to get these, you know, these working to start with. In fact, will that reach? Yeah, that'll reach. Just plop that in there. think that's okay. Oh, we start getting oh, I could put one on there. Faster one. Start getting power wobbles. I'll come over and see if I can't, you know, put more on, sort of thing. I think I'll put a storage over here and have some personal graphite. Oh. If I move that down, does that work better? Let's just do something like that. Okay. So we're way, we're way over our need, which is cool. So what we could do? How are we doing on time? It's 4:40. Okay. Because what we need to do, you see, really, what I want to set up is some production of these more basic materials. We could also do oil, you see, get oil up and running, because we need to do oil to do that, basically. Can I see it from here? Turn that off. Because we have a couple of options. We could send some of the graphite this way with, split it there maybe somewhere and do a line across here. Take it all that way over. Or we could simply have another thing here, which is probably easier and simpler, using that to make graphite and feeding it in. But we need to make steel, so at the very least we've got the option of making landfill. I'm a bit loath to do more researches. So if I was to do that, if I was to bring the graphite over all that way, it's going to be best to have our associated labs here, isn't it? So what we can do, because labs don't let you do pass-through. So if we're going to have the stuff being put into this storage thing first, so what I could do, I could have them here, couldn't I? And then, because it's two products, isn't it? Which I could have come in on that side. So we can have, oops, belt there. The reason I'm doing 2... Ooh. Oh, I didn't need to... It's there. So, these take 3 seconds to make, and we've got 3 labs. So effectively making 1 a second. These take 6 seconds to make, so if we have 2 stacks of 3, then we will produce 1 a second again. So, whether that's a good ratio to have, I don't really know, but it makes some sense. Or to me it does, anyway. So we have these making reds, and we want one of these. I would suggest. No, probably better putting it there, aren't I? Or there, in fact. So we will have belts coming in here in some way, shape or form. Where was that coal? That coal's there, isn't it? So it seems to suggest that we have the graphite maybe coming in here. Now whether we make more graphite there or bring the coal up and make the graphite here. We're probably better off making the graphite here actually, because it gives us a bit of room to expand, and also we can start using it when we have the appropriate chemical stuff that we need to make that involves graphite. It's there and available to us. So we want that power thing there. And we want these labs there. And then that's going to come in like that. Cool. And let's put a bit of... I like to put a little gap like that because it gives me, if I end up with stuff in my inventory, it gives me a place to put things. Because if you don't have that, then you've literally got, well, you've got to put down a separate chest, you know, to store things basically. Okay. So this is going to be a bit painful, this one, to get at though, isn't it? And we don't need red sides yet. So I could go and set up some steel production. I could even pinch that steel. Iron ore, not steel. So I could use this, couldn't I? Over here. Let's do that. I might do it on my inventory and stuff. Okay, got plenty. Right. Let's pick up some of these. Oop. So, if I did want... So let's leave a bit of... Oh, I got the wrong thing. Bit of a gap. Because it is... That's right, isn't it? It's a double thing, isn't it? So steel takes 3 and requires 3 a second. And that takes 1 and requires 1 a second. Takes 1 and takes 1 a second, whereas this requires 3 and takes 3 seconds. So you can do a direct insertion between the two, basically. But it is in a smelter, isn't it? Yeah. So, if we put a bit of a gap, just in case we need to do something else. So, ideally we really want that line to be there, don't we? I'm just thinking if there's a smarter way for me to use this splitter. Could I put the splitter here and then do what? So you'd have one coming in, or I could bring the in line there, couldn't I? And then one going in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I could, couldn't I? So if I was to put the splitter there, which one have I got there? Wrong one. No, right one. It can be a bit difficult to tell them apart, I must say. So that's going out there. This is going... Well, why don't I just take that round there? And then if we need to do something else, we've got the available thing. Except, of course, this belt's going the wrong way, so we're going to have to pick it all up. Get it all in our inventory. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So then, as noted, we can do a direct feed, but we need power. So let's put that there. So we can do, and then... Now, it can be a bit fiddly, as noted, because of the whole contour, not contour, the whole... yeah, so is that saying too close? So we need to bring it back one. And we need to use the faster things because they do 3... it's 3.0 per grid. So I think I need to double insert. Which means I'm going to need more of them. Of item. Right, I'm working in it then. Okay. But we only need one like that. Oops. And if I bring it there, is that massively dumb? And maybe put steel in there. That feels massively dumb, but I've no direct evidence yet that it is. So this wants to be iron plate, and this wants to be steel. And we want to copy that one. And copy that one. Are you getting the steel you need? I wonder why that's not doing anything. Maybe if I convert that to... I guess because it's just matching its required rate. Okay, we don't need much steel for the time being. Okay. Yeah, so what I can do now, hopefully, if I've got the enough material, it's very expensive material wise, so it requires 3 blocks of stuff. So I should be able to do, actually I'll snap that up to 10. So what you do, you see, is you literally just click on the thing, but I'll turn off the decoration and you see it's left a sort of a ghosty thing, yeah, that you can see when you're in build mode but isn't there normally. That's what it's talking about. So if you put the foundation down with the decoration, lack of item, need more. Put it down with the decoration, then it's got that. It's nice. I quite like the look of it. It's sort of a nice, you know, gritty. Does look like an industrial floor, but out here in the middle of nowhere, when we're not actually making a sort of proper factory yet, it just looks a bit weird. So does that give us enough room to possibly? Can we mine it all? Have we got enough miners? So can I hit everything? Probably not. Oops. Do that. So I could potentially, depending on how it likes to do there. So if I've got enough stuff, is that enough? Gathering. Okay, so that's the entire patch done. And I said we were going to do it over there, didn't I? But looking at this area, I might do it here. Let me pick up all these stones. So I'm doing this on the off chance that they'll give me titanium. At least I think that's how it works. And which is why we've got a random amount of titanium. It's definitely gone up there, because that was 43. Oh no, there you go, 63 now. So it does randomly give you bits of titanium. $70. But I don't think it tells you when you hover over them. I think it just sort of does it as a random drop. To the best of my knowledge, there's no way of picking that up. You might be able to overlay, you know, undecorated version on top of it, maybe. Okay. Okay. So, if we have the... Oh, where's north? That's north, okay. If we have the belt, or belts, come along this way. So you can do, you know, proper balancing and all this sort of stuff. but without sort of full on. Oh, we've only got 4 of them left. I should go and restock. Yeah, without full on. Where's their base? Over that way. Going completely the wrong direction. Yeah, without the multi-speed belts, it's not really worth it, really. Now, where's their stuff? It's over here. Okay. Okay, so where's our... I didn't end up with any of them, did I? Okay. So a couple of 3 of them. Don't really need any of them. That's fine. That's fine. That's done. That's stone, so we can just get rid of that. This is our collection of things we've not really got much use for at the moment. And then we got glass, we have used glass. Stone we know we've used. Then we got storages. We don't need them. Belts. Factories. Oh, not used any. Okay. And then these lads. Don't really need 2 stacks of them, do I? We'll keep a few of them on us. So I got some iron ore from somewhere. Oh, did I not grab the stackers? That's better. Okay. So we need to get back over to our graphene. Should have stacked up a load of stuff for us. Get rid of them. Where's my graphene storage? There it is. So we want all of that because we need to. We are completely empty. Yeah, okay, so same sort of dealio. If I just put them in, and you know, in theory I could sort of, you know, split it and do a second line, but we won't bother for the time being. Oops. And this wants to be graphene. And we copy that over. Why have I done that? There we go. So I guess in theory I could measure out. Oh, I haven't got any. Could measure it out. 2, 3. So I don't actually need them there. It gives us the room in case we ever need to go mega scale. And I guess I need to connect that there. Can I stand in a power thing? Here we go. Oh, yeah, run out of power. Oh, we're in the water. I don't think that's meant to happen. I just want to finish. No, I want to finish off this graphene coming in, and I'll end a stream there. And then the next thing we can do in the first episode, the next episode, which I'm planning to stream again on Thursday. The first thing we can do is do our oil, basically. So I could actually. Yeah, we're going to need oil extractors and refineries, and that's the other reason for making the steel, you see, because we need to get them made. But we can make one extractor now while we wait. Actually, wasn't there that upgrade that needed steel as well? Inventory capacity is steel. So if I turn that on. Right, so oops, okay. Oh, it's not connected. Marvelous. It is graphene we need, isn't it? I've been bumming doing this. Yeah, graphene and hydrogen. Here you go, you see, it's telling me I've got one more soil pile. But I don't understand where that's come from. Yeah, I guess the bots picked it up to do it, but what did they pick up? Well, soil, obviously, but how did it relate to the... Oh, there you go, another 19 soil pile. 17 soil pile, 8 soil pile. Is it to do with it levelling out? Well, it doesn't look unlevel. hello. Last few. There we go. Cool, so they're going to stock up with that. So if we go and get some more of the old graphene. So we've got 1, 2, 3 stacks there, that's fine. Cool. And then we wanted steel, didn't we? Where did we put steel? That was back. That's back here somewhere, isn't it? There we go. So we need steel to do all sorts of lovely things next episode. Should I take the third one? It's close by, so it's not wrong. Let's let that run down, I guess. I could make, because there were 3 oil things, weren't there, over here, and then we could make a bunch of the whatchamacallits, oil refineries. I can't actually. I'm never sure whether to make prisms or not. Because some of the things do need quite a lot of prisms, but it's like engines or the motors. They don't, until you need them, you don't need them. That's what I was saying earlier on, really. What was I waiting for? Other research. So inventory capacity level +1. Now it says it more specifically there, 1 line of inventory capacity, but basically we've got an extra row to our inventory. So I will stack up some researches. Sorry, improvements. What order do I want to do them in? I guess that one first, and then that one, then that one, which is yet another row. Faster bots is good. That requires thingy. Lack of yeah. So it's telling me I haven't got the red ones, but that's fine. We got that queued. I think some of these are greyed because you need something, but it doesn't tell you what. You know, there's like a prerequisite technology, but I don't know. Let's queue that one though. Can't get them yet. Can we? If I stack them up and nothing happens, as it were, then I mean we're not really losing anything, are we? So, no, I don't think I can do all of them anyway. Yeah, queue fuel. Q4. Okay, so that's how we're what we'll do is basically we'll do a whole load of upgrading once this once this happens. You know, once we finish this, which won't take too long next time. Now that I know what I'm doing, ish, and then we'll upgrade all of that stuff while I build some of the other things that we need to have done. Okay, well there we go. So that was the third stream. Got a hell of a lot done, I think, today. Quite pleased with that. Implemented all of my learndings. So yeah, so if you have watched this, thanks for watching. Maybe you might want to watch another one. I don't know. There's a playlist of all 3 episodes on the channel. And I'll be doing more of this on Thursday and probably Friday. Kind of depends how I feel. Might do a longer one on Friday. Not got much work on at the moment, so might do a longer session. But certainly either 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock on Thursday, UK time, I'll come back and do some more. And I'll probably play on my other thing independently. I'm really enjoying this game. For an early access game, it seems pretty polished. Not really encountered any, well, no game breaking and you know, otherwise bugs. Just little glitches, and I say it needs some quality of life stuff. Certainly, the whole English translation needs a hell of a lot of work. Well, not a hell of a lot. It needs a good polish in from a native speaker. But yeah, I really like it, and it gets, as I said at the very beginning of the stream, it gets really epic. You go multi-planet and I think multi-solar system. I mean, it must be. That's why, you know, you had that star map at the beginning. You must be going to multiple solar systems. So yeah, it's really epic in scale. Let's hope it's sufficiently optimized that it actually runs. But yeah, so if you have enjoyed this, likes are appreciated, and subscriptions and whatever. But join me again on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Cheers.